Have you ever wondered if animals can be gay? Well, the answer is more complex than you might think. You see, the question of homosexuality in animals is a vast and intriguing subject, stirring up a variety of views within the scientific community. It's a topic that's not only fascinating but also filled with controversy and differing perspectives. But don't worry, we're about to unpack it all for you. So, buckle up, as we delve into the fascinating world of homosexual behavior in the animal kingdom. First, we need to understand what we mean by homosexuality in animals. When it comes to animals, we define homosexuality as same-sex sexual behavior. However, it's essential to realize that this doesn't necessarily mirror the human concept of homosexuality. In humans, homosexuality is about more than just sexual behavior. It includes emotional attachments and a self-identity, which we can't definitively attribute to animals. So when we talk about homosexual behavior in the animal kingdom, we're referring to instances where animals of the same sex engage in courtship, mating, bonding, or parenting behaviors. This is a purely descriptive term, void of any human socio-cultural connotations. Animals, unlike humans, don't have the same complex social constructs or labels about sexuality. They simply engage in behaviors that are beneficial to them or their species. In many cases, same-sex behavior in animals can be a part of survival strategies, social dynamics, or even just play. It's also important to note that the concept of sexual orientation, as we understand it in human society, may not apply to animals in the same way. Animals don't necessarily exhibit consistent sexual preferences over time, and their behavior can vary based on factors like availability of mates and environmental conditions. Now that we've defined homosexual behavior in animals, let's explore its prevalence in the animal kingdom. You might be surprised to learn that homosexual behavior is quite common in the animal kingdom. Indeed, the breadth and depth of same-sex behavior in animals is truly fascinating. It's not just a few isolated cases, but a feature of life across many species. From the wild plains of Africa to the depths of the ocean, homosexual behavior is a part of the natural world. Take dolphins, for example. These intelligent creatures are known for their complex social structures and behaviors. It's not unusual for male dolphins to form pairs or even larger groups, engaging in extensive bouts of mutual genital contact. This behavior strengthens social bonds and establishes a pecking order within the group. Then there's the bonobo, our closest primate relative along with the chimpanzee. Bonobos use sex as a form of social bonding, conflict resolution, and even greeting. They're known to engage in a wide variety of sexual behaviors, including homosexual interactions among both males and females. And who can forget the charming story of Roy and Silo, the famous pair of male chinstrap penguins at the Central Park Zoo in New York? They courted each other, built a nest together, and even raised a chick. Their story, while unusual, is not an isolated occurrence. Homosexual behavior has been documented in hundreds of bird species. But it's not just mammals and birds. Homosexual behavior is also observed in insects, reptiles, and fish. For example, in certain species of beetles and dragonflies, males are known to mistakenly court other males. Among reptiles, male tortoises have been observed mounting other males. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Researchers have documented homosexual behavior in over 1,500 animal species, and that number is likely to grow as we continue to study and understand animal behavior. As we can see, homosexual behavior is found across a wide range of animal species, but why does it occur? Scientists have proposed several theories to explain why homosexuality occurs in animals. Today, we'll delve into some of these theories, breaking them down into digestible bits of knowledge. First up, we have the social bonding theory. This theory posits that homosexuality in animals serves as a mechanism to form strong social bonds. It's not all about reproduction, sometimes it's about camaraderie and alliance. For instance, in certain dolphin communities, males often engage in homosexual behavior to create bonds and alliances which prove useful in later conflicts or when seeking a mate. So the next time you see a couple of male dolphins getting friendly, remember, it might just be politics. Next on the list is the kin selection theory. This theory might seem a bit counterintuitive at first, but bear with me. The idea here is that an individual can pass on its genes indirectly by helping relatives who share some of those same genes to reproduce. This theory is often used to explain why some animals might choose homosexuality over heterosexuality, even though it doesn't lead to direct offspring. For example, let's consider the case of the male lion. A lion who helps his brother, a fellow gene carrier, to secure a pride and reproduce, is indirectly ensuring the survival of his own genes. Interesting, isn't it? Lastly, let's talk about the practice theory. This theory suggests that animals engage in homosexual behavior for practice before they mate heterosexually. It's a bit like a dress rehearsal before the main event. This behavior has been observed in many insects and birds where younger males often engage in homosexual behavior to perfect their mating techniques. So, in a way, it's all about getting those moves right. All these theories sound quite plausible, don't they? But it's important to remember that these are just theories, educated guesses made by scientists to explain observed behaviors. They are not absolute truths. Each theory has its own strengths, but also its limitations. For instance, the social bonding theory doesn't explain why animals without complex social structures exhibit homosexuality. The kin selection theory, on the other hand, doesn't account for homosexuality in animals that don't live in family groups. And the practice theory doesn't explain why some animals continue to engage in homosexual behavior even after they've mastered the art of heterosexual mating. So, where does that leave us? Well, as with many aspects of nature, there is still much to learn and discover. The world of animal behavior is incredibly diverse and complex, and understanding why homosexuality occurs in animals is just one small piece of that big, beautiful puzzle. These theories offer a glimpse into the possible reasons behind homosexual behavior in animals, but the debate continues. The existence of homosexuality in animals has profound implications for our understanding of nature and evolution. Firstly, it challenges our preconceived notions about sexual behavior. The traditional narrative of mating behavior being solely for reproduction is turned on its head. Homosexuality in animals underscores the fact that sexual behavior isn't merely about procreation. It can also serve other functions such as establishing social bonds, asserting dominance, or simply deriving pleasure. Secondly, these findings shed light on the social structures within animal communities. Homosexual behavior is not an outlier. It's woven into the fabric of animal societies, from penguins to dolphins. This reveals the complexity of animal relationships, reminding us that animals, much like humans, have intricate social dynamics that go beyond the simple dichotomy of predator and prey. Furthermore, the existence of homosexuality in animals prompts us to rethink our understanding of reproduction. For instance, in some species, same-sex pairs have been observed to adopt and raise offspring. This calls for a broader perspective on parenting and familial structures, which are not just about biological ties but also about nurturing and care. Now, what does this mean for our understanding of human sexuality? Well, it emphasizes that homosexuality isn't an aberration, but a natural and integral part of the spectrum of life. Seeing homosexuality in animals can help us humanize and normalize it within our own species. It's a reminder that diversity is the norm, not the exception, in the natural world. However, it's important to note that drawing parallels between human and animal behavior should be done with caution. Animals do not have the same social constructs or cultural biases humans do. The way they express their sexuality is shaped by their own unique biological and environmental factors. While the topic of homosexuality in animals remains a complex and controversial one, it continues to provide fascinating insights into the diversity and complexity of life on Earth.